Hello, I'm Patty Milne, your host of Marion County, your community partner. I'm really excited to be here today with you right in front of the Marion County Courthouse. This is our inaugural, our kickoff show to Marion County, your community partner. This is a program that will air monthly and highlight the many programs and services that Marion County government provides. We'll visit partners. We will take you to many of the places you may not have seen before. But today, we're here to take you inside Marion County Courthouse so that you can see the unveiling of Commissioner Sam Brantano's exciting project of the Community Hall. The Community Hall is a wonderful, beautiful display that highlights the 20 incorporated cities around Marion County. Commissioner Brantano came up with this idea because the walls throughout the county courthouse are rather bare, and we needed something to dress them up. And what better way to do it than to highlight all of our communities throughout Marion County? So he asked each community to put together in a frame that I believe is 30 by 30, it's rather large, to put together something that represents each community. Each and every one of these displays is just absolutely fabulous. It's really hard to pick a favorite. What's so exciting about this display is each community is so well representing in their display the personalities, the diverse offerings, a little bit about their history and some of the beautiful, beautiful scenery, historical buildings, and a lot of really exciting old-time photographs that also tell the story of the community. So I hope that you will be able to get downtown Salem, right here on High Street and Court, and also State Street, come into the Marion County Courthouse. Yes, you will have to go through security, but it's very painless. Come in and take a left and take some time. Enjoy these beautiful displays. This show now, I will be taking you on that tour and explaining to you these displays. So welcome to Marion County, your community partner. Hello, I'm Patty Milne, Marion County Commissioner. I'm your host this evening of Marion County, your community partner, and I'm excited to be here in the Marion County Courthouse. This is the unveiling of this new program. We're also here for the unveiling of Commissioner Brantano's fantastic idea to dress up the Marion County Courthouse. And I want to, Sam, you have come up with this terrific idea. Where did the inspiration come from to create this?
I don't know quite where to start, but I guess you'd start by reminding people about how this courthouse was driven into, shot up, burned up, just really torn to pieces, and then we rebuilt it, but never with an idea of anything in terms of decoration, brightness, signage. I don't know, other cities, counties, I'm not really advocating this, but they have a set amount. You're supposed to have some kind of art. Well, every time I'd walk through here, it was just bleak. It was just bleak. Well, then I've had a long affinity, I think would be a good way to say it, with the cities. I grew up in St. Paul, Woodburn, school in Mount Angel, and live in Sublimity, active in Staten, and then the work we did was garbage collection, recycling, and we contracted with 15 of the 20 cities, so cities have always been important, and I'm forgetting that I was mayor of Sublimity for 10 years. Now, after you appointed me, which may have been a mistake,
after this wonderful display, I know we made a good decision.
I'm not crying in my high waters. But anyway, in 1993, I went around to all 20 cities to introduce myself because I was appointed, and it was a wonderful experience to kind of reacquaint and try to just introduce. And so then there's one other aspect. For a number of years, we've had a project at our county fair where we'd ask cities to make displays representing their city, and it was quite popular. It's kind of died off over time. And it was that, walking through this hallway one time, thinking I want to brighten it up, and thinking about the possibilities of connecting county to the courthouse, county to the cities, courthouse to the cities and county, and it just kind of came together. What about it? And then I get in trouble. Back to you. At a management update meeting, I suggested, hey, would anybody think that'd be a good idea to decorate the courthouse with displays of each of the cities? And Patty jumped on it. She said, yeah, and kind of called my bluff. She said, well, do it. Do it. Oh, all right. And you'd think it'd be simple, but it's hard to get to 20 cities and get them, you know, a little bit fired up about it, even organized. Sarah McDonald is standing right over there. She doesn't want any acknowledgement, but she really organized the cities. We used the juvenile department to make the frames, and then I took them out to all 20 cities. I wasn't able to get to a couple, but we have 18 of the 20 of them in this evening, and just yesterday I saw them up for the first time, and I'm just so pleased. It's a little bit hard to get in here for security for the general public, but if you're in here, just come and take a look. And I think you'll be amazed and give it a lot of thought.
Has this display, have the entries, the frames from each city, has it met your expectations?
Woodburn came in first, and I thought nobody, and I gotta be careful, nobody can beat that. That's perfect. You know, I went to each city, I said, just kind of make a presentation of your community, past, present, future, whatever you want. But I didn't know what to expect. And then they started coming in, and I'm not going to say each better than the next, but each absolutely unique and well thought of. And it did the other thing I wanted to bring communities together. You could see the groups of people got together and said, okay, folks, what's important in our town? And put it down on paper and in this display. So yeah, I'm really happy.
It is. It's a great idea, and you had a dream and you made it come true, and this is such a wonderful display. And again, this is a fabulous way to kick off our new program that will highlight Marion County government and how we interact with our cities, the relationships we have with community partners. And this is the perfect way to kick off this program and share with our cities what we're doing here in Marion County.
There was one other aspect that I liked. A couple things are hard, but one was, well, what do we call this project? And sitting down, and this idea kind of gelled, and we're just going to call it, I don't know if it's official or what we'll refer to it as, but we're going to call this community hall in the courthouse. And I'm hoping, again with security it's a little hard, but maybe there's a special event sometime that involves different communities on these walls, and maybe we'll have that ceremony here too, and I hope that works out in the future. The other interesting decision was what order do you display them in. But I came up with the idea that we'd start in Salem and drive north and hit Kaiser and St. Paul up to Donald, and then come around to Aurora, Hubbard, down 99, catching the cities, Woodburn, Jervis, over to Mont Angel, around. Anyway, it made great sense to me. But I don't know if it really works out. They may look like they're random, but there is an order. Now if you've watched, you know.
So Sam, as we conclude this, talk about the entry from Marion County government.
Well, this is kind of a hard one because we were not planning, I guess I should say I was not planning on doing one, and about halfway through the project, people in the office came up and said, are we going to do one? I said, no, this is just for the cities. Well, I kind of got straightened up, and not only were we going to do one, I had to be involved in it. And I'm not an artist by any means, but people in the office kind of got busy and put it together. And we think we've captured a lot of Marion County. We go back to 1843 and Champouy in 1849. This is actually, I don't know if I believe it, but I'm told it's a county work crew from 1849 working on roads. The Heaters Ranch up above Sublimity. We have log trucks, our own unique Marion Berry. Silver Falls, can't leave it out. And then the #1 agricultural county in Oregon. We had to have something on it. This is a view near Sublimity. And I assume, and I don't know that, it should be Mount Angel, but it could be, or Silverton, it could be another area. Anyway, I think it works pretty well and gets the flavor of our county too.
Good. Well, again, I really commend you for this great idea, and I think we're about ready for you to begin these ceremonies.
I think so. Thank you.
Thank you.
I also wanted to comment that I think it was about 3 years ago, in 2009, we celebrated in Marion County Oregon's 150th birthday and came up with this idea of 150 miles for 150 years. So we, through our GIS equipment, drew this 150-mile loop around Marion County, went through every Marion County city. Many of you came and greeted us, and we had 5 consecutive weekends where we went by bike and car, and joggers and motorcyclists around the county, even went up the Willamette River. And now I don't have to go the 150-mile loop because I can just come over to the courthouse and see all of these lovely pictures and see all the sights of Marion County.
What each city has submitted to this community hall is absolutely fantastic. And even if we were to have a vote, there's no way. Each one is so special and represents so very well the community history, your own heritage, and it brings life to our county courthouse. So thank you again.
So I think this is a super example of bringing something that seems unknowable into your neighborhood. I think this is the most beautiful display. I can't wait to get started on some ideas that Sam has, but I thank you so much for making me a part of this. It's really a very unique and wonderful idea and carried out so beautifully. I want to go back and look at all these again, don't you?
Now, one last serious note, and I hope I can say this right, and I really mean it. I love Marion County and its cities, and by what I've seen with this display and your coming here, I'm pretty sure I'm not alone. So thanks for coming, enjoy the evening, and let's see if we can make the next step work. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sam. I just want to thank you for being a friend of cities. We certainly have a wonderful working relationship with Marion County. Sam's a super supporter, but so is Janet and so is Patty. So thank you from all of us. I think all of us speak that you've done a great job by us. Let me tell you a little bit about my city. First off, we have our Kaiser Heritage old schoolhouse, which houses the Kaiser Art Association, community rooms, and our library. Here we have our Kaiser Salem volcanoes. Some of you may know it by another name, but it is the Kaiser Salem volcanoes. But in addition to that, we have a state-winning McNary football team. I want to recognize the Kaiser Fire District, who plays Santa every year and distributes and helps him out as his helper to distribute candy canes to kids. Here we have our original flag from Kaiser, and the 3 stars stand for pride, spirit, and volunteerism. Really, that's what Kaiser is all about. The 7 lions are the 7 votes it took to become a city, an independent city. So there's a little bit of history for all of you.
St. Paul is, as you all probably know, home of the St. Paul Rodeo, 4th of July. But not only that, we have other issues. We have a church that we are the oldest Catholic church west of the Mississippi. We are also very agriculture, very much into our history. As you can see, some of our old hop pickers, farmers. We've got the beautiful mountain. We also have Shampooey Park nearby. Just a lot of history, and that's what is important to us, is our agriculture and our history.
St. Paul, like a lot of towns, brought Mount Hood into the picture, and it seems to be a dominant feature in the county. And if that's San Salvador, that used to be called Brentano Landing, just so you know.
Well, as you can see too, it could have been named several different of the founders in the area, Zorn, Fellers, and ours is mostly about the farming area as well, being close to Shampooey State Park. So, and it is our 100th centennial, so that's about a minute.
You have some old checks here. What would just the little bit of monies, or what were they representing?
The banks that were there in Donald.
Oh, the banks in Donald at one time. Okay, yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Tom.
Well, Aurora, of course, was settled as a Christian communal society in the 19th century, 1856 to 1883. The only one that actually came over the Oregon Trail and settled in the West. And Dr. William Kyle settled there and picked Marion County. A wise decision, I think, on his part. the descendants of the communal group started a historical society. It'll be 50 years now next year. And that kind of corresponded with about the same time that antique dealers started moving into some of the historic buildings. So we have kind of the combination of the historic side with the antique dealers working together to promote the town's heritage and history. And the latest thing that we have going, some of you may have read Jane Kirkpatrick's books on Emma Wagner Giese. She has now become quite a local legend in Aurora, and so we have pointed out the fact that those books are available, and we are waiting for you, and Emma is waiting for you in Aurora.
City of Woodburn is very proud and happy to be part of Marion County. Woodburn for many years was known for being the home of McLaren Boys School. And then we got a drag strip. We have a national races and well known there. Then as Woodburn's growing, it grew a little bit away from being great farmland and nursery land around the county. And we've developed a great Hispanic culture. And we're trying to recognize that with our dancer here. We now have some great restaurants in downtown Woodburn, and we're known for a lot more than just the Woodburn Company stores. But we do invite everybody to come to Woodburn and shop. And this is showing the founder of Woodburn is Jesse Settlemeyer. He donated a lot of land for the city back around 1850, 1860. So this is a very historic signature of Woodburn.
So anyway, some of what's here in our history and what's important to all of our counselors, and especially me as myself as mayor, is the people of Jervis and what we're doing to raise the community up as a community. So we represented three of the things that we try to do is recognize our volunteers. We have a pretty good youth volunteer group that help clean up every year. We started 2 years ago. This will be our third year of an art fair, and it is really attended well. The kids come every year with their chalk and their pictures pre-drawn and ready to go now. This represents our Tree City USA. This is our new city hall, and of course Mount Hood, and these flowers are actually a picture I took of a clump down by our railroad tracks. And so there's just beauty in everything. The stagecoach was actually donated by Kate Gill of Donald. We clipped off a couple of the front horses to make it fit the frame. It's kind of to represent the past part of our history. If you look on our new logo here, you'll see the original house here, the Sam Brown House, and the goal there is to eventually someday have a stagecoach center as they're on the historical site. So anyway, this was fun. The challenge came to get it done. Now the opportunity is to really get somebody that's interested in building the history and having that ready.
And we have our fountain, which is coming into town, and Mount Hood in the background with the hop field. There's a lot of hop fields around Mount Angel. We have the Abbey, and of course our Catholic Church, which is celebrating its 100th anniversary this year, and then the Glockenspiel, which is right downtown. So it was just like Jervis, it was a challenge, but we found somebody, excellent artist to do that. So thank you very much, Phyllis.
It's my pleasure. Phyllis, if I could, thank you too.
That's really glad to meet you. Thank you.
All right, is there anyone from Scotts Mills? All right, then I'll just do this myself. I know they're proud of a number of things. The bridge is unique, a covered bridge. They have a picture that's quite interesting of a 1911 graduating class of their high school. There isn't a high school there anymore, so they took 8th graders and put that there. They had a nice display, and they made a copy that they're going to keep in their city hall too. Kind of a fun thing happened to me when I went to Scotts Mills. Rainy night, and I get there to City Hall and there's nobody there. And I find out they got a new City Hall. So if you're there, make sure you're at the right place.
Well, this is Silverton. In a nutshell, Silverton is the center of the universe. Anyway, this represents our heritage, which our heritage runs deep and runs wide, like the Mississippi River or the Willamette River, as well as our future. So what we have around here is some of our historic buildings and our oak tree that used to grow in the middle of Main Street. Some of our notable family fathers, Jake McLean, the banker, Homer Davenport, Ole, one of the band members, and several other folks up here. Over here we have our founding mother, Polly Coon Price, and several other pioneers. These gals were, if I'm not mistaken, the high school honor society. Correct me if I'm wrong, Carolyn, wherever Carolyn is. But yeah, they're the high school Silverton High class of 10 honor society. And then up here, celebrating our industrial past, is kind of a little montage of our timber industry, or timber history here, going across from the trees being chopped down and put into flatbed trucks, taken to one of the 2 mills, sawed up, and then shipped out to the world. So that's Silverton.
All right, now here's one I love, and I could probably do this one, but Gene, I know you're here. This sublimity.
Good thing she was down by the cake.
What can we say? I was mayor for 10 years. It was really nice when I'm just kidding.
It's still a beautiful town. When we got this project, it was a little hard because we dug into the archives. A lot of these pictures are up in the rectory, in their archives up there. The city's put together, or not the city, but the church put together. But we dug in our own closet to find a lot of these pictures. And one of the things that happened was we had it all filled up, and we looked at it and we said, nobody's going to recognize sublimity. So we kind of went back and rethought. Top center picture, we tried to orient it so that you kind of went around the town to see. And it was a fun project to work on, and I actually have to thank my wife because she got stuck with the project. Ran around helping her a little bit with it, but we tried to incorporate everything, you know, and like I said, if we didn't take some of the other pictures out, nobody would have known, because if I would have said Hobson's Corner in the 1800s, people would have said, where was that? Well, that was sublimity then. It was a trading post, you know, a couple of roads coming in and out, but few people also know that sublimity got its name by sublime, rolling hills, beautiful country. So we're still working at that. We're going to keep it nice. It's agricultural, and Sam did. He got it started, and I'm just trying to continue on the process. Thank you.
I want to say one thing you didn't know, and I didn't know. In 1860, sublimity was the 3rd largest community in Oregon. Just so you know, we haven't always been inconsequential.
Ours is pretty much based on our heritage, which is the logging industry. Logging and timber is still a big part of the community up there in Mill City. So we've showcased one of our early mills, is the Hammond Lumber Company, in the beginning there, and a few shots of the town and back in the early 1900s. Mill City was actually formed back in the late 1800s though. Today we still are a strong timber company. We have the Frank and Ferris lumber companies up there, but we have also rely a lot on recreational opportunities in Mill City. So we have the Santiam River going through the heart of the community. It's utilized a lot by kayakers and fishermen, all sorts of recreationalists, a lot of old remnants of the logging communities. We turned the old train depot into a museum there with it's pretty well organized. It's a really good place to showcase some of the city stuff. The old railroad bridge is now a pedestrian walkway through town. So anybody gets an opportunity, come on to Mill City, part of Santiam Canyon.
Thanks, Tim. What do you have, City Council at 7?
Budget.
Go. We're doing gates now, and I don't see they were here. So I'll just say real quickly, again, a lumber and train town, a new fire hall that was just dedicated about a year ago. It's gorgeous how that little community put that all together. We're going to hold a Marion County board meeting in that in about 2 months. The river's important, Gates School, covered bridge. They kind of got it all, and they're very proud of it on both sides of the town. The I don't know what you call those sculpture signs, and it's real pretty, and they're proud of it too.
Put the picture of the lake on it, they said, and everybody will love it. So we went that direction. We are so excited as the city of Detroit to consider ourselves the Phoenix. If any of you have been to the city, you laugh because you've been there, right? So anybody who's been to the city of Detroit kind of drives through and goes, good thing we came for the lake. And so we are so proud as a city to I know, right? You guys have been there and you're going, we go for the lake. And so we're so proud as a city to kind of, begin a new wave of energy, a new wave of people coming in. I head the committee to create a scenic bikeway between Estacada and Detroit. right? A beautiful ride, pretty extreme, but we're really loud and proud about the things that we're doing and the awesome people that we have in our city. So please come anytime and join us at the Lodge at Detroit Lake, where you can stay and ski for free. Keep that in mind. Thank you.
IDAMA is only about 135 people now. It started out as an Indian camp, and then it went into logging. And we have the small post office, the fire hall, a church, and a small city hall. We're really close to the lake in Detroit, about 3 miles. And then we have all the hiking trails and stuff up in the Forest Service. That's us.
All right, I have Scott Vigil, Mayor of Staten, and would you tell us what's here, Scott?
Yeah, if you look at the top, we start with the covered bridge, which has become the photo that everybody takes of Staten since, probably 1989 or 90 when they took it from Jordan. It, like the courthouse, caught on fire and it got rebuilt too, so we were really proud of the Jordan Bridge, and it gets a lot of photo ops. We are right on the river. This was one of the first power stations. Our library is one of the finest libraries in the state, and super proud of the library. Here's one of the parks that we just refurbished this last year. It has a surface that is a lot of fun to jump on and walk on, and it's an all-weather type surface, and I'm super proud of that. Our swimming pool is getting better by the day. We just put in a new pedestrian bridge that accesses the Riverfront Park, which here's a shot of what you can see from Riverfront Park, and we've got some of the greatest fishing. And we've been working for a while to revitalize our downtown, and I would say if you put us in a category of downtown revitalizations without urban renewal, we've done a pretty good job so far, and I think it's there's some pretty good energy there.
Our namesake for our city is Amos Davis, and the city of Bombshell was named after him. His father-in-law, Henry Turner, named the city after Amos because they were building a mill in town, and before the mill was completed, Amos died. And so Henry Turner really loved his son-in-law, so as a tribute to him, he named the city after him. And this is the old Amsville Schoolhouse, built in 1893. One of the historical buildings in our city, no longer there, so we wanted to include that. And then the Amos Davis School, named after Amos Davis, we wanted that as well because that school lasted until 1971, and that lot now that building is no longer there. Then we wanted to include this. One of the original houses in town was built in 1891, and is still there. Former Mayor Joe Mathias lives there, and as you see in the picture there, it almost looks the same. So it's well kept up. We want to include that in there to show the past and present at the same time. And then, of course, all of you are familiar with the December 14, 2010 EF2 tornado that came through town, did considerable damage to our city. This, going over here, is a picture of a parade for our annual corn festival that we have each year. And so it's a great time. Last year, the city of Amsville served 18 tons of corn. I think maybe it was 19 last year. 19 tons of corn. This is our world-class skate park, and we're very proud of it. We've had skaters from all over the world use that, and I'm serious, all over the world. They want to come and try that out. Then this is our building that's been used for a number of purposes. It was an old bank building. It was a plumber shop. It was been used for a number of things. That is where our city hall was for years. Up until 2009, when we moved into our brand new city hall. It's almost 7,000 square feet. It's a real improvement. This is our new welcome sign to come into the city. It's been up for about a year. We're real proud of that and all the work went into it. And then this is our new shield as well. And so Sam, we're really pleased that you had the cities do this. I think this is a real asset to the courthouse, as well as it helps us understand more about our cities. So I think that just about covers it.
City of Jefferson, we do many things in our community by brainstorming. I threw it out at a council meeting, and then folks stepped up to help. Karen Wells, we did this in her community center. Marisha Studer, Cheryl Forrest, and one who's not here, Karen Wustig, and the last one, our photographer, Marty Cheeks. And this is a photograph that Marty Cheeks took over the Sandy Am with one of many balloons that come through Jefferson all through spring and summer. And there's some days you'll see 10, 12, 14 of them rolling by. It's a gorgeous sight in the morning. This one dipped down, I think, for a drink of water. We're not sure.
That's not very far from the bridge.
But it appears that way, but it is some distance away. And then we have one of our historical bridges here bridging the Sandy Am. What we tried to capture was some of our history, but also showcasing what we're doing presently. This is the Jacob Concert House. It is one of two, I'm told, existing stick frame homes pre-statehood. And so this is where we have our library. It's where our current city council meet. So we wanted to showcase that from our history. We have another one on the Historical Commission. This is Jefferson United Methodist Church, 1876, I believe. Built by volunteers, land donated by volunteers. This is one of the other historical homes we have in our community, and the Mannings were gracious enough to allow this to come up here, and then our city logo. We have two festivals now every year. The first is the Jefferson Mint Festival. The showcase, of course, is frog jumping, and our princesses kissing frogs, so we had to get a frog in there just to get that work going. That happens in July. The second thing we kicked off about 5 years ago is our annual Festival of Flowers. If you're looking at bargains for plants, flowers, so forth, you get them for one day, and that's the place to go. We also focused on what we call the City of Volunteers, and that ties our history into where we're at now. Nothing is accomplished in our community without volunteers, and I mean volunteers that just show up. We plan, we organize, we identify, and we're not sure who's going to show up, and then they're there. And that's one of our successes. Historically, Mr. Concert settled this area. He was one of the signers establishing statehood. It was a little mill and a ferry crossing. At the time, the Sandy Am was 300 yards wide. Dams and other things changed that, so now you can swim across or walk across in the middle of summer, whatever you feel like doing. We had a lot of fun doing all of this and brainstorming, and we just appreciate the opportunity to showcase our community, so thank you all. Thank you, Sam, very much. Great idea.
All right. This is Marion County itself. We tried to capture everything that we could. It's certainly agriculture is our #1 industry. We've got it with some scenes from Sublimity, and I assume, and I should have asked, at Silverton, it could also be even down at Hopkins in that area. Silver Falls Log Truck. We have representatives of the Scott family who present at least these two pictures, I understand. One's supposed to be a county work crew, and the other's the heater farm up above between Silverton and Sublimity. And I think we caught a couple pretty scenes. And the Marion Berry is one of my favorites, developed right here, and a plaque dedicating this day. So that's the end of our organized program, if that was organized. I'm really happy, and I hope you all are too. Thanks for coming, and that's all I can say.
Now that you've had the opportunity to see the unveiling of the Marion County Community Hall, again, I hope you will come personally to take advantage of spending a few more minutes looking up close and personal at these wonderful displays. And I hope that you will join us next month for Marion County, your community partner, when we go to yet another Marion County facility and share with you some exciting things that happen in your county government.